We're working in the Godot engine and we're setting up a basic 2D platformer character before we jump into any code or movement. We're going to go over some of the basics of the engine and go step by step, so even if you've never coded before or worked in a game engine, you can start creating. Let's code. To get started, I've set up a new project, or you can use one you're already working in. To set up a new project, you can open up the engine, click New Project, type a name for your project, then click the Create Folder button to create your project folder. And then for now, you can leave the OpenGL option to 3.0 and click Create and Edit. With the editor open, let's orient ourselves to the different tabs and windows. The large space in the middle is our scene viewport. For now, just notice the two rulers on the edges. These use pixels as the base unit within the 2D engine. You have a zoom to zoom in and out, and this button here will turn on our grid snapping. At the top, we have tabs to switch between 2D, 3D, and the script editor. On the left is our Scene tab and File tab, and on the right, our Inspector tab that displays more information about the object that we've selected. Godot is an object-oriented engine, and in this case, it uses scenes and nodes. So let's create a scene for our character. So instead of clicking the 2D scene button here, I'm going to click the Other Node button, and this is going to allow me to set a different node as sort of my parent node within the scene. And we're going to be looking for the Kinematic Body 2D node. So find that, select it, and then hit Create. Now you're immediately going to notice this little warning sign right here, and it's telling us that we have a node configuration warning. And basically the node has no shape. There's nothing within this node. So we need to add a collision node and a sprite to make this node work. So we'll start by adding our sprite. We can click the plus button right up here. We'll look for sprite. We'll find that and then hit Create. And now we have a sprite node as a child of our Kinematic Body 2D node. Now, whenever you are switching between different nodes in your scene or node tab over here on the left, you'll notice that on the right side in the inspector, our properties are going to change. So if we click our sprite node, we can see that we have a texture, a normal map, some offset, a transform to move it around, visibility settings, and all of these settings are pertaining to this specific node. So let's give this little Kinematic Body 2D node a sprite, so it looks like something. So I found this little R2D2 sprite online. I'm going to include all of these project files on the Discord and a link, and so you can find everything there. So once you have that sprite or your own sprite, you can actually go back to your project folder and put it there. How this works is any file or folder within your project folder is automatically imported into the engine. And so I've created a content folder and a sprite folder and placed my sprites in there. And you can see that that folder is also down here in my file system. So what we can do now is click on our sprite node and then take our R2D2 PNG file, click and drag it all the way over here to this texture dropdown and let go. And now we have our sprites. Now we need to add a collision node in order to give the sprite some shape. So head back up to your Scene tab, do the plus button, and we're going to look for a collision 2D shape. Click that, add Create. Make sure it's a child of your Kinematic Body 2D, and notice that we have another warning sign saying a shape must be provided for collision shape 2D to function. So what we need to do is click on our collision shape 2D node, go to the inspector on the right, and pick a collision shape for our collision shape 2D node. I'm going to go with a rectangular shape, and you can see that show up on the viewport right here, and you can use this to resize. And with that, we've gotten rid of our warnings, and now we have a 2D character with a sprite and a 2D collision shape. We can go ahead and save our scene up here, save scene as. I've saved mine as R2D2. Saving our 2D character as a scene will allow us to drag and drop that into any other scene, and any changes that we make to it will be applied to every usage of that scene. With the foundation of our 2D platform character created, we can begin to look into more aspects of our game, including the actual platforms and the background of our scene. In the next video, we'll look at how to create those backgrounds and platforms. If this video was helpful for you, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.